Hey friends, I used to be that negative person. I grew up with pessimism and I didn't know how to not be negative. I want to show you some tips I learned.
Welcome to the Prophetic Spiritual Warfare Podcast with host Kathy DeGraw.
Hey friends, I want to welcome you back to my show, and I want to talk to you about negative thoughts, behavior patterns, habits, things like that in which we were raised. And we don't have to live in negativity, okay? We don't. And, even the other day, I have to admit, my husband came home and he's like, Kathy, how was your day? And I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I just spewed out this negativity because it was one of those rough days, to be honest. Yes, us ministers have them. And then later on, I'm like, oh, Ron, I forgot to tell you about this God divine appointment I had. And he goes, oh, you mean you actually had something positive happen today? Wow, guys. Okay, that's kind of a lesson, And even recently, I remember, I was just turned off by something and I just kind of like spewed my feelings. And I thought, why did I do that? Yeah, I know sometimes we like to spew, or sometimes you like to post on social media or something like that. But, as Christians, we always need to see the positive, and I don't think we always do. And, even if our plans get interrupted, we still gotta, see the positive. I remember we used to go on vacation. And I tell you, the enemy would distract us. He would disrupt us. I mean, I know there was an assignment to really take away our rest. But, even in that, we had to look at the positive of at least we had the money to go on vacation. And, last year we went to the Keys and we were looking forward to this vacation. We had never gotten to Jamaica during the pandemic. Like, we had a reservation booked and we never got there. So we decided to take our money and go to the Keys. And I had gotten a word of knowledge actually to go to the Keys. And we went for like 6 or 7 days. And I got to tell you, 3 of them were absolutely amazing. Like, I remember worshiping under the water as we're snorkeling. And I had my arms spread out, just all this beauty and creation the Lord had given me. But I tell you, 3 of the days, they were warfare, guys. Our resort that we had paid thousands of dollars for wasn't very nice. I mean, we just had a lot of hiccups. And so, often we're like, well, that was a good vacation, but a not good vacation. But what we got to look at is we still got away. We still got rest, and we got those 3 quality days and, the beauty of what the Lord gave us under the water. And so that's what we always have to do, friends, is we have to pull out the positive instead of focusing on the negative. I think we can do that even with our health. We're like, well, this is wrong, and this is wrong, and this is wrong. And yeah, while we might have some aches and pains, we may have some health ailments that we're trying to get the full manifestation of. Most of us can still walk, we can still stretch, we can still breathe. There's a lot of things to be grateful for. We're not hospitalized. We got to look at, instead of looking at, oh, I have a lung ailment or maybe my liver's affected, we got to look at, well, my heart works right and my cholesterol is good and my eyesight's right. We got to pull out those positive things. We got to pull out where God's healed us in the past. And I know that's one thing that, I even focus on. As someone who's been healed 17 times without medical treatment or procedures, what I look at when another health ailment comes instead of that negative, and sometimes, that negative wants to hit because I'm just like, man, another attack? I just like to be done for a while. I just want to rest for a while and I don't want to have another attack. But what we have to look at really, friends, is God healed us before, he'll heal us again. We got to look at what we've made it through and not focus on what we're going through in the moment. But we get hope when we look backwards and we're like, well, God, you can take care of this again. God, you're capable of this. Nothing's too big for you. And so I really want you to think about that. Where do you need to get some of that negativity out of your life? Because we can actually train our brain to think negative and have that be our expectation. I teach about that in my book, Mind Battles, Root Out Mental Triggers to Release Peace. But that's what we do, is we actually train our brain to think negative so that it's more of an effort to think positive. It's more of an effort to capture that negative thought and dismiss it instead of entertaining it, because we're used to having it be part of us. And so I really want you to, think about that, and how do you focus and how do you retrain your brain to, react to positivity in every good and perfect thing. Because I know you can do it. I know you can. In 2 Corinthians 10, 4 and 5, it says to capture every thought. And that's what we need to do. We need to immediately capture it, dismiss it, not entertain it, be like, this does not align with the word of God. So I'm not going to allow that to come into my soul anymore. I'm just not. I'm done. It's signed. It's sealed. It's delivered. I'm serving it eviction notice papers. Okay. And if you don't know how to do that, grab my book, Mind Battles. But friends, I just want to bless you. I want to encourage you. Go back to the previous episode. I talked about the power of positivity. And I just want to help just get out there real quick and help you renew your mind.
Thank you for listening to the Prophetic Spiritual Warfare Podcast. Receive additional teaching through Kathy's web church, Sunday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Facebook, or through her Prophetic Spiritual Warfare book. I invite you to visit CathyDeGrawMinistries.org for books, mentoring, blogs, or to invite Kathy to speak at your event. Follow Kathy on Facebook, YouTube, or Instagram at Kathy DeGraw. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and review the show. This helps our show rise in the rankings and reach more people to bring forth deliverance.